full of whispers, alibis thin. Two sharp-eyed sleuths say, all right, who sinned? Has tipped low, clues fall in line. They read between the lines, right on time. Grim starts sweating when the squad rolls through. Every story tested, most don't stand up to prove. So grab your fedora, jump right in. True Crime Squad's on, and the trouble begins. Join the super squad, bonus laughs, deeper clues. Same sharp sleuths, just extra clues.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the True Crime Squad. This is Katie Weaver. I'm here with my sister, co-host, and partner in crime, Kristi Brower. Hello.
Hello. Hey everybody.
How's it
It's
going?
going to be an intense show when you pop your stress ball right before the show starts. I just did that, and it was all over my hands. It's all over my computer screen. This is a sturdier one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be a little careful there.
I was just giving it this old squeezy squeeze, and it just went pop and shot out this kind of shaving cream consistency stuff all over me.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, you must have been thinking about went on today in the Gonzalez Trial.
Yeah, among many other things. Holy shit.
Oh. Yeah, we've got a ton, and we're late, so I apologize. That was actually my fault, but we're back. We're here, so here we go. Kristi, I'm going to have you kick us off with updates from the Gonzalez trial today.
This was something. So we talked yesterday about the Adrian Gonzalez trial. Of course, this is the Robb Elementary School shooting trial of the school district officer, the only officer actually charged in this case. Yesterday, we listened to opening statements, kind of got a feel for that the prosecution's out for blood. We're unclear as to why only this guy gets that attention and no one else. And that's pretty much what the defense is saying as well. After opening statements yesterday, the prosecutor did call his first witness. Bill Turner, by the way, is the prosecutor. His first witness was Gilbert Lamons, who, if you remember yesterday in the opening statements, he was the guy that worked at the funeral home basically across the street from this school. So he saw the shooter before law enforcement did. Mm-hmm. And he made some 911 calls. They played one of his 911 calls. It was very emotional. But he basically saw the gunman walking toward the school and firing at the building. And if you remember, this was the point at which the police thought that this guy was firing at them. They did not yet know that this was a school shooting because this began with a car accident where he ditched the car and then he runs across the street to the school, fires into the building, fires into the outside of the building, but the police think he's firing at them. And this man saw that whole situation and called 911 and reported it. He did talk about how quickly it all happened and confirmed that this was just minutes, seconds happening.
Yeah.
So that was really important, I think, for us to establish, and we talked about it yesterday, the very few minutes of all of this, the way that it began before he entered the school and started shooting. It was not clear what this man was there to do, but Ramos did, of course, enter the school. And we know what happened there at Robb Elementary. But so this was important for establishing foundation about what happened that day. So testimony today, pretty interesting. Prosecutor called Stephanie Hale. If you recall, Stephanie Hale is one of the teachers at Robb Elementary who was outside at the time that the shooter wrecked the car, came across the street, started firing at the school, went into the school. And I guess they started with her yesterday and then continued today, but something happened today. Stephanie Hale's testimony included a detail that the defense was very unhappy with, because they said that this had not been released to them in discovery. If you recall, Gonzalez. There are too many names. I have so many names in my head right now. Adrian Gonzalez, was on the south side of the building. Ramos was on the west side of the building. He went in an entrance on the west side of the building. Stephanie Hale gave testimony today that she witnessed Ramos on the south side of the building, not the west side of the building. That caused a big kerfuffle with the defense attorney, Jason Goss. He objected forcefully. He called it trial by ambush because this differed from her earlier statements.
Right.
And it also differed from statements that investigators and prosecutors had turned over to the defense. So this triggered a discovery dispute, possibly with Brady-related concerns.
Right.
So the Judge Harrell, he halted proceedings. He sent the jury home for the day. You know this is serious when that happens. It wasn't like, hey, you guys are going to go just take a little break. No, it was, you don't have to come back today. Come back tomorrow. So they're looking into this issue. There were questions about whether the prosecutor needed to be called to the stand as a witness. That did not happen. But there were, various people on X and stuff saying that could happen. It did not happen. What did happen is that the Uvalde County District Attorney, Christina Mitchell, was sworn and testified outside jurors' presence about the disclosure, but it's not the prosecutor that is prosecuting this case. And that's the thing that's where it gets a little confusing.
Okay.
Because the prosecutor on this case is Bill Turner. He's a special prosecutor. So, but the Uvalde District Attorney was sworn in and did give testimony. That's Christina Mitchell. So it's two different people. Because the judge wanted to know about the disclosure process and what happened with this witness's testimony.
Yeah.
The defense asked for a mistrial due to the surprise testimony. Judge Harrell denied the mistrial motion. He ruled the disclosure issue was negligent but not intentional.
But when does it stop mattering if it's intentional or not?
Right? Yeah, this is pretty important because it does not match what's been said. Do we know why there are any other defendants? Well, it's a good question, Kristi.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a minute. So he did instruct the jury to disregard that testimony until they had resolved it. There is going to be a hearing separately, and I don't know if that hearing has happened yet. If it happened today, I can't seem to find confirmation of that. But what we do know is that what they're asking for remedy. What's the remedy here? The damage done to the defense's case, potentially. What's the remedy? If you remember, in the Lori Vallow case, when there were major defense or major gosh, I just have too much on my brain, guys. When there were major discovery issues that were revealed right before the trial, this is what got the death penalty dropped off of the case for Lori Vallow. Now, obviously, this isn't a death penalty case, but it's possible that there will be remedy because the judge did say it was negligent. If not intentional, it was still negligence. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen there and
Yeah.
what the remedy to this situation might be. It is concerning because all the timelines and all of the reconstruction stuff that they showed yesterday all indicate that Ramos was on the west side of the building and that he entered on the west side. And so now we have Stephanie Hale potentially changing her story from what she originally reported to say that he was on the south side, not the west side. And the south side is where Adrian Gonzalez was. So I don't know what's going to happen, but it's pretty major for a trial to be halted this early. So anyway,
Wow.
that's what's going on.
I mean, it sounds like it got pretty fiery, pretty wound up.
It got very fiery. Yes, the defense is furious.
Sure they are, of course.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Minx. I don't know. I'm not having super good luck getting all of the details today. The judge said today he was going to throw out all of that teacher's testimony. Okay. That's actually probably the best remedy, is if you can't trust what's been reported and if she's changed her story, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, but the jury's already heard. I mean, how do you really unring the bell? The jury's
Right?
already heard her say what she said.
Yeah.
Not good. Not
No.
good.
Not good at all. So we'll continue to cover what's happening. The jury will be back tomorrow. Hopefully they will just be getting a directive about this, and then they'll go forward. But yeah, it's not good.
You know, we make fun of defense attorneys on this show quite a bit, and I stand by that most of the time, but defense attorneys are climbing an incredibly steep hill as well. And it seems like it's just a never-ending battle between discovery issues with the state, and it is so incredibly rare to see the defense win a motion or win, remedies like this. And we should all be concerned about that and keep a close eye on it, because our justice system, if it doesn't work correctly, then what are we doing here? Right?
Right.
I was just looking at what was happening in this courtroom earlier, reading about it earlier today, thinking, it just seems like way too often some pretty egregious stuff happens that the state, that the judge goes, oh, well, it was an accident. So, And
right. So if the judge
really
does say,
yeah,
hey, this was negligent, and does throw out testimony, that's big. That's a big win on the part of the defense.
Yeah.
So we shall see how they remedy that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not good.
Okay, Minx, that backs something up that I thought I had read. So the DA wants her tossed now, and the defense want to cross her. They want to be able to unring the bell the best they can. They should have that opportunity.
I would think.
I guess.
I mean,
hell, I don't know. This is a mess.
It is. It is a mess. And and Kristi, you make a great point. I am so bad with directions. I wouldn't know which way was south of my school. It would be so stressful being on the stand. I bet this teacher feels so guilty for saying that, even if it's true. Right?
Me too.
It's a lot.
If you asked me if it was the south side of the school, I would not know. I would say, is it closer to Circle K? Is it right or left? No, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it depends on how well the jury is tracking the directionality of everything. But, the defense put up some pretty good graphics and layouts of all of that yesterday.
They did. That's true. Oh,
we'll see. But yeah, it doesn't bode well when we're at the very beginning of a trial and we've already got somebody being kicked out. Yeah. Somebody's testimony being kicked out. That's not good.
Yeah. This is a rough start. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, let's move on. The state has responded. I hate to show you this picture, but I'm just going to have to. Remember this bee?
Jump scare.
Biggest jump scare of all time.
It's been a long time since we've had a look at that face.
Yeah. And we're taking a big step back to the Idaho trial because the The state has responded to her request for appeal. So just a couple of things about that. 59-page response.
Ooh.
So some of her arguments were a Sixth Amendment violation, right to counsel of choice, because we're still mad about Mark Means getting kicked out. A criminal defendant has a fundamental right under the Sixth Amendment to hire counsel of her own choosing, free from interference from either the state or the trial court. Ultimately, there was no actual conflict of interest. Any potential conflict had been waived by both parties. The district court abused its discretion in granting the state's motion. That was her claim. Additionally, assistance of counsel at critical stages. Ms. Daybell was deprived of her Sixth Amendment right to the assistance of counsel during pretrial hearings on the state's motions to disqualify her counsel. The district court's ruling prohibited her attorney from representing her interests at those hearings, violated her Sixth Amendment right. That's going to be a toughie, I think, because she did have Archibald was present for those things. But anyway,
she had an attorney.
She did. That's just an aside. But rule.
Also, we're talking public defenders here. She was not paying any of these guys, so
right. Due process / incompetency claim. Ms. Daybell was deprived of her right to due process when the district court held pretrial hearings that affected her substantial rights in her absence while she was incompetent. That's one that I think that I've wondered about this ever since it started happening. When they were making decisions about various pretrial things, and she was unable to be present because she was in the hospital. That is something that I wondered about, all this time.
Well, the prosecution brought it up multiple times.
True. Yeah.
Too. That they were like, should we be talking about this? Because she's currently incompetent and can't be here.
And the judge kept saying it was fine. Yeah.
She did have representation there, but she wasn't there herself.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be crazy if she got a new trial or something like that?
I really don't think she will.
Oh,
I think Boyce did a really good job of protecting that, but
yeah. And then, of course, Rule 404B.
Oh, here we go.
The bad acts evidence. The district court erred in allowing the state to present wide-ranging, uncharged bad acts evidence from Arizona, which injected prejudicial character and propensity evidence into the case. Well, we knew they were going to do that. Obviously, they objected on the basis of 404B about 1 million times in her trial.
At least. Your Honor, 404B noted. Your Honor, 404B noted. I mean, how many times?
How many times? Speedy trial rights. Her statutory and constitutional rights to a speedy trial were violated. The court erred in denying the motion to dismiss based on deprivation of those rights.
No. Come on. We all know.
So
if you have to go to the hospital for a reason, that time does not count. Yeah.
That's nobody's fault. Yeah. Listen, I would have loved Mark Means to stay on. I would have loved it. I
mean, yeah.
However, at that time, little Marky Means was breaking down. I don't know if you guys remember that last filing from him before he was removed, but holy mother of God. That was some serious...
You mean the air quotes filing?
That was some serious 2 a.m. drunk filing situations going on that... Holy moly.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what the state says. On the 404B evidence, they say the district court properly overruled Vallow's objections to the state's proposed 404B evidence. The time between the state's notice and the trial was reasonable. Defense of the trial court discretion. They're arguing that this court did act properly in all discretionary decisions, including counsel disqualification and evidentiary rulings, and that no one violated anyone's constitutional standards. I mean, it's pretty much what you expect at this point, right?
Yeah, it is. It's all the things that you knew was going to come up in her appeal and that, have already been addressed infinitum.
Yeah, for sure.
Voluminously. Voluminously.
Yeah. So now that it's published, or or being published on the Idaho Supreme Court docket. Now we wait to see what comes next. So essentially, they want a new trial or want the whole thing thrown out. Of course, the state is saying that none of those things are necessary, and now the appellate court, now the Supreme Court will have to look it over and decide if there's any balance here, or if there's anything that's arguable or not. So we'll see what happens next. I mean, this is standard procedure stuff. There's nothing crazy about it. This is just what happens.
Yep.
But then you always have to kind of wonder, God, are they going to find anything? Oh, good Lord.
I just really can't imagine, particularly when the solution for the discovery issue was to take the death penalty off the table. I mean, I do think that Boyce was absolutely as cautious as he could possibly be to ensure the staying power of this conviction.
Yeah, agree. All right. Talk to us about Mantych.
Okay, you remember this. You probably remember this. This guy, well, let's start with this beautiful lady right here.
Yeah.
This is who we really need to be talking about. So this is the case where a woman died suspiciously or strangely on a train heading into Denver, Colorado. This was in 2016. We talked about this case a couple of years ago because a family member reached out and asked us to. This is Marina Plasencia. She was 28 at the time that she died while traveling on an Amtrak train headed to Denver. She had injuries. She was all beat up. And her husband, just tried to say that he just discovered her dead. She just died in her sleep, guys. Kind of a Tammy Daybell defense, right?
On a train with her kids. Yeah.
And with Angelo Mantych, who, by the way, was her abusive spouse who she was trying to run from. She was trying to leave him, and he just got on the train and came with them. So this happened clear back in 2016. And this case was marked as suspicious, but no one was ever arrested. And it went cold from 2016 to 2023. And in 2023, a cold case prosecutor took it on. And they took a new look at her autopsy. And her family, by the way, have been absolute rock stars and have been putting pressure on police and prosecution for a long time about her case.
Years.
They absolutely,
years and years.
They absolutely believe that Angelo killed her and that there was a long history of domestic violence and that she was all bruised and beat up. And, he said she fell down. The usual bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So in 2023, they reevaluate her autopsy and determine that although she had a lot of bruises, that she died of suffocation, my friends.
Yeah.
And that it was not a natural death, that she died because someone suffocated her to death. At that point, then, they finally arrested Angelo Mantych, and they changed her manner of death to homicide. They reevaluated Mantyk's statements, the train environment, and the long history of domestic violence with Angelo Mantych. And that's what the family was like. Are you serious? She's all bruised up. How can you not be looking at him considering the history of domestic violence? Well, they finally did. He was charged in October of 2023 with first-degree murder. It took a while, as these things do, to get all the way through the courts because there was a lot of back and forth jockeying, the defense trying to get evidence thrown out, all that stuff that always happens. So he actually went to trial in December of 2025, so just last month. It was held in the Denver District Court. The key evidence against him were medical experts testifying that Marina did, in fact, die by suffocation, even without obvious external injuries of suffocation. Testimony regarding prior domestic violence, evidence that Marina was trying to leave the relationship, and the confined train setting that really supported the opportunity that there was really only one adult that had the access to suffocate her, and it was Angela. So the jury did find him guilty of first-degree murder.
Yes.
Was nearly 9 years after her death that he was finally convicted.
It's just unreal.
Marina's brother, whom Katie, you spoke to,
On the phone, yeah.
said that justice has finally been served in Marina's case. He will be sentenced on January 9th, so on Friday this week. It's kind of performative because it is a mandatory life in prison without parole because he's convicted of first-degree murder. But he will be sentenced on Friday to go to prison forever.
Good.
There was an autopsy, yes, and the autopsy initially showed it was inconclusive about what her cause of death was, and that she did have bruises and injuries, but they didn't seem to be what caused her death. It was the review of her autopsy in 2023 where experts determined that she was, in fact, suffocated. And, I mean, she was injured. And so you think about injured in a very confined space on an Amtrak train, she probably couldn't fight back.
Right.
When he suffocated her. Yeah. And he knew that she was trying to leave him at that time. So I am thrilled for her family that there is finally some justice here. Pretty late in the game. There was not a lot done on this case initially. The initial investigation was very minor. They didn't really care, honestly. And it was this later cold case team that went and looked at this and went, holy shit, this is a murder.
And it was definitely her family leaning hard, consistently checking in, asking for updates, wanting to know what was happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Such a sad case.
It's a really good reminder for all of us out there, though, that you got to keep talking. If you've got a case like this, you've got to keep talking. Don't give up. Because even almost 10 years later, they still were finally able to get this guy.
Yeah.
Now, where are her children? I think that's a really good question. I do think that because of the history of domestic violence, he did not get custody of them after she died. Is that correct?
Belief from my conversation with the brother. So what happened is when we reported on this, when he was first arrested, her brother messaged us on Facebook Messenger and was like, hey, I would love to talk about this. And I had a conversation with him. I really want to say that he had said that the kids were in state's custody very early on. Yeah. That he didn't have them all this time.
It was obvious that he was a very unsafe human.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the part that's just so frustrating about this is that there were so many indicators that that he killed her from the very beginning. So I'm happy for Marina's family that
for sure.
At least they've got some justice here.
Absolutely. Yep. All righty. Well, speaking of another jump scare.
Another jump scare. Jesus.
Charlie Adelson. Appeals, yes, here is little Charlie Adelson. The First District Court of Appeal is set to hear his appellate arguments coming up here in a couple of months. Next month. So the court has granted his request for oral arguments, and that is going to be taking place. So I wanted to give you a little bit of info on that. Their biggest arguments, it appears, is that the state did not allow a change of venue, and that there was way too much publicity leading up to this trial and that they should have done so.
I mean, it's already been addressed so many times.
Mm-hmm.
That's something they're going to use, but I
Yeah.
just don't think that goes anywhere.
Yeah. So, yeah, the pretrial publicity, potential jurors were overheard discussing the case after being instructed not to do so, which these are complaints from his from the Adelson camp, which should have led to juror removal. The trial judge refused to admit important text messages between Adelson and alleged co-conspirators that the defense say could have supported his case, and an alleged conflict of interest with his attorney may have compromised his defense. Oh, you mean that he was going to move on to represent his mother too, or had? Well, yeah.
I mean, that kind of was after the fact. Also,
Yeah.
the text messages thing, it sounds to me a lot like, but the calendars, the day
Yes.
planners
The day planners. Yeah.
in Donna's trial.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, the conflict they knew about. Exactly.
So the state's arguing that the issues that they're raising by the defense would not change the outcome and that a Florida jury would still convict Adelson. And so it's not that big of a deal. We'll find out. So the argument is set for February 3rd.
Interesting.
So they each will have 20 minutes to argue their case.
Wow. That is not very long.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Will they stream it? Do we know?
I don't know. I have no
I
idea.
don't either.
I hope so. I'd really like to hear what both of them have to say.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll find out. All right, Kristi, talk to us about the ice shooting from earlier today.
You guys,
Yeah.
this is really scary. This just happened today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you about it first, and then I'm going to show it to you. And I want you to know that this is footage of the actual shooting. You just see them fire into a car.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is something that we need to keep a really, really close eye on because there's a huge amount of misinformation already swarming about what happened here. But I'm just going to show you the video and let you decide what happened here.
Yeah.
So this is in Minneapolis. Before 9:30 a.m. this morning, there was a federal ICE operation underway. DHS had deployed a large ICE immigration enforcement operation in the area, described publicly as one of the largest in Minnesota's history. And we know there's been some really terrible shit in Minnesota. Agents from ICE and Homeland Security investigations were active in residential neighborhoods. At about 9:30, several ICE agents encountered a vehicle. It was a red SUV that was stopped sideways in the middle of the road on Portland Avenue South, East 33rd and 34th Streets. I don't actually know exactly why that was there, if the driver was trying to obstruct ICE from moving into this neighborhood. We know lots of people have done things like that with ICE.
Mm-hmm.
ICE agents, four agents approach the vehicle on foot. They surround the SUV. Video shows them giving conflicting orders, some telling the driver to exit the vehicles, others telling her to drive away. One agent tries to open the driver's door while another reached toward the window, trying to interact directly with the driver, trying to get a hold of her, basically. You'll see it in the video. The driver, who turned out to be 37-year-old Raine Nicole Good, U.S. citizen, not under investigation by ICE, reversed her vehicle briefly and then began to drive forward into the roadway, turning away from the agents, following somebody's orders to drive away, right? They're all yelling shit at her at the same time. As she begins moving forward and turning away, a third ICE agent who was positioned in front of the vehicle, and you can see in the video that she turns away from this man. He draws his weapon and fires. 3 shots were fired through the driver's side window at close range as the vehicle moved off. Raine Nicole Good was struck The SUV continued forward after the shots were fired, hit a parked Honda Accord and a light pole, and came to a stop further down the street, basically crashed into some cars. Bystanders did try to render aid, but witnesses say that the agents prevented a physician that was on scene from providing medical assistance for a certain period of time. Eventually, Minneapolis fire and first responders were able to reach the scene, but they were delayed, and Good died of her injuries at the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to tell you what Homeland Security is saying because it's such an obvious lie when you watch the video that it is absolutely ridiculous to think that what was said versus what we can all see. This was filmed by a witness. There are multiple witnesses to this crime, to this murder. But you be the judge. Here is a video of what happened. This is filmed by a bystander. I forgot to say, trigger warning. This is the actual shooting.
Yeah.
If you don't want to see that, take a moment to look away.
Mm-hmm.
It is not graphic. However, it is the shooting. Here are ICE agents. You see the red SUV stopped in the middle of the road.
No!
They walk up to her.
No!
She backs out and tries to turn away.
Oh my fucking god! What the fuck?
And they shoot into the driver's side window.
You just fucking, what the fuck did you do? You are fucking criminals! You're fucking criminals! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? You are fucking insane! What did you do? You! Shame! 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 Shame!
Let's watch it one more time. Just watch the interaction and what happens. You tell me if she was trying to ram ICE agents with her vehicle, if you see that happening.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my fucking god! What the fuck? What the fuck? You just fucking, what the fuck did you do? You are fucking criminals! You're fucking criminals! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? You are fucking insane!
I'm amazed that these women are out of their cars, honestly.
It's very brave
You!
that they're filming this, that they are confronting
Shame!
these officers.
Shame! Shame! Shame!
Also, you see him walking away. Was he rendering aid?
No. Also, was he
Yes.
being taken to the hospital because of his own injuries? No.
No, he certainly wasn't.
Yep.
Certainly wasn't. So, right. Now, yeah, they didn't go to check on her.
Yep.
This man that you see here, he is the shooter. There are multiple sites releasing a name. I have not seen an official confirmation of his identity, so I'm not going to share that name here, but you'll probably see it in other places. I don't know if it really matters at this point. He is the one that was in front, and she turned away from him as she drove. If she had been coming at him, he would have shot her through the windshield.
Mm-hmm.
She turned away, and he shot her through the driver's side,
Mm-hmm.
which tells you exactly the answer to the question, was she trying to ram him?
Yeah.
So the official statement is that he acted in self-defense and saved his life and the lives of other ICE agents. Is that what we just watched? I guess you decide.
Yep.
Right, and that was a protest going on. These folks, the reason that there's film of this is because there were people protesting ICE entering this neighborhood to begin with,
Mhm.
which is likely what the driver was also doing. Yeah.
Wow.
Right. Why were they going after her at all? Because she was trying to get in their way. She was in their way. You saw a different angle. I've seen some other angles as well.
Mhm.
All of them show daylight between her car and those officers.
Yeah.
She didn't hit anybody. And she wasn't, if she was going at him, he would have shot her through the windshield.
Mhm.
She turned away and he shot her through the driver's side. I think that angle tells you a lot.
Agree. Yep.
So,
Yep.
anyway, that happened.
Yeah.
Much love to Renee Good's family.
Yeah.
They are actually the ones who have publicly identified her as the victim, have put
Mhm.
out photos of her, are immediately speaking to the media about what happened to her.
Yeah. Yep. Well, there was a family member in the car.
Yeah.
She wasn't alone.
No, she was not alone.
And actually, it's kind of a miracle the other person wasn't struck as well.
It really is.
But the fact that there wasn't immediate aid and that aid was denied is
Yeah,
it's
aid
really
was delayed.
scary. Yeah.
Mhm. And then
Yeah.
behaving as though this woman was trying to kill them.
Yep.
We've all seen the video.
Yep.
So there you go.
Well, let's move on to a retraction because
Yes.
we allowed ourselves to get bamboozled, as did all of the local press recently, and I want to make sure we clear that
Mhm.
up. There was a situation in Idaho Falls at Costco recently where a lady claimed that a man tried to kidnap her baby. You might recall this story. We reported on it.
Mhm.
Uh, they had shared a video, the police did, with the press, showing this kid. He was a BYU Idaho student, kind of seizing the side of the shopping cart of a lady who had a brand new baby in the cart and walk around the corner with it. And
Yeah.
what the in the press conference, what the police had told the press is that that this was intentional, that this was a kidnapping attempt, and they charged him with kidnapping or attempted kidnapping. And we reported on that. Okay. I remember at the time, I think I said something like, what was he gonna do?
Right.
After the incident and she got her cart and her baby back, he continued to shop. He paid for his stuff. And when she left, she saw him sitting in the food court eating. He didn't flee the store, which we thought was very weird. Well, guess what? 2 days later, a few days later, after we covered this, and this young man's face was plastered all over everywhere, and his name, and where he goes to school. Basically, after his life got totally muffed up, the prosecutor came back and dropped the charges and said that after they saw the whole video, they realized that the mother's story didn't really match up to this gentleman's behavior, and that it appears that he really was just a distracted shopper who thought he grabbed his cart and grabbed someone else's. Their initial story was that he didn't have a cart and that he's claiming that he grabbed the wrong cart, but he didn't actually have a cart. Well, yes, he did. He did have a cart. And no, this kid didn't do anything wrong. He did grab the wrong cart and walk around the corner with it, but he wasn't
And
attempting
she
to.
went right there and got it and left.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah. No, he
Unfortunately,
didn't.
He has been completely filleted in the news around here, particularly. This has caused issues with his enrollment at his college. It's really muffed his life up. He didn't deserve this. I am very unhappy that we reported on this. It was based on the press conference that the prosecutor gave, and I think it what the prosecutor did was extremely irresponsible. And the fact that they put out a press conference like that and then just a few days later came back and said, well, now that we've watched all of the evidence, now we've seen the video, yeah, he really didn't do anything. So
Thanks, Randy Neal, you shitty
thanks, Randy.
prosecutor,
Yeah,
Vaudeville County.
really regret reporting on this story, and we're very sorry to this young man. And
Yeah.
we hope that he'll be able to recover from this and get his life back on track after being accused of something he just flatly didn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, this is very similar to that Mahendra Patel case.
Yeah.
Where it was complete bullshit and that they had charged him and held him in jail for 4 months.
Yeah. Yep.
And when they watched the whole video, realized that he had not tried to take anyone's child.
Yeah.
Fortunately, this kid, it didn't take quite as long, but it's still incredibly destructive.
It is. And the mom, she had posted some really dramatic stuff in local community
The social
groups.
media aspect of it got real crazy here.
Yeah, it did. And when I first saw her posts, I was like, oh, come on, lady. Yeah, right. But then the prosecutor made an arrest and put out their press conference, and they shared a portion of the video from Costco. And they were like, yeah, this is legit. He was trying to kidnap the baby. And we were all shocked, like, oh man. And I felt bad because I didn't really believe that lady's story. I thought she was being really dramatic.
It seemed really overblown.
Turns out, yeah, no, it was really
was.
dramatic.
Yeah.
I'm just mad for him. I'm mad that we fell for it. I'm just mad. It's disgusting.
I'm just mad that the prosecutor
is an idiot. Yeah.
Is an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're dealing with right here in Vallow County
Absolutely.
right now, unfortunately.
Yep. The way this was handled on the prosecutor's part was extremely irresponsible.
Yes, it was.
There have been some heists, some interesting heists. Talk to us about the Walrus situation.
Friends, first of all, learned something new today. Do you know that walrus penises have a bone in them?
I did not.
It looks like this, right here.
I guess that's the bow. Okay.
Yeah. That's not the boner, but it is a boner. Okay. So, recently in Camden, New Jersey, this just happened like last week. There is a restaurant that's famous for their cheesesteaks in New Jersey, in Camden.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that is beloved in this restaurant is their prized walrus penis bone. It's something they display in the restaurant. It's a big thing. People go there, to see it, and it's like their pride and joy. Okay,
it's a prize, guys.
It is apparently quite a prize. Unfortunately, last week someone stole it. Now, I cannot get over the name of this place simply because, of course, it's called Donkey's Place.
Oh.
I don't know. Anybody ever heard of a big old donkey dick before? I have. They don't have bones in them, but the walrus penises do. Dig says, I live near there and they have the best cheesesteak. They're known for that, but apparently they're also known for their giant penis bone, and someone has stolen it.
What a dick, right? I mean,
what a dick. Yes, absolutely. What a dick.
Mm-hmm.
A walrus penis bone is actually called a baculum.
Oh.
A baculum is a mammalian wang bone, just so you know. And it was sitting behind the bar. you know how people like to stand out something cool about they have some cool autographed something something or whatever in their restaurant to make them look cool. Well, these guys had the penis bone. Rob Lucas Jr. Says that it has been a conversation piece for years. And people are just thrilled, to see it there. But apparently, they think a customer has stolen the wing bone.
Wow. It's hard to
Apparently,
imagine why anyone would do that.
I don't know why anyone would want this thing, but whatever. So the bartender actually handed it to someone to show it to them because they wanted to know what it was, and he was like, "Hey, it's a walrus wing bone, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And then she went back to the back to do something, and when she came back, the dude stole it. They actually have a picture of him, but he doesn't appear to be from Camden, New Jersey, so they have not found him yet. He's going to be showing it to his friends. It's going to come out at the Super Bowl 100%, and someone will turn him in, most likely.
It's coming. Yep.
Yeah. So that happened. That was a heist. That did in fact happen. Why isn't the restaurant called Walrus Wings, right?
Well,
I don't know.
Now it isn't because they don't have one.
Yeah, they can't call themselves Walrus Wing if they don't have a walrus wing bone.
Very disappointing.
But it's still called Donkey's Place, and I think that kind of works, but whatever. But just so you know, there is a hot walrus penis bone. It's out there in the world. So if you see somebody flashing one around, call 911.
You see somebody put one on Marketplace, you'll know.
I mean, the penis wing bone is just like religion. It's okay to have it, but you don't want to be flashing around at everybody.
Yeah.
I do not know why.
Don't try and cram it down my kid's throat. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what you do with the wing bone, but there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we know. We'll let you know if there are any updates.
We'll keep an eye out. Two more quick things. Kouri Richins.
Oh boy.
Back in court. Is she ever going to trial? Is she ever going to trial?
She's
supposed to go to trial in April, I believe.
She's only commit about 450 crimes now, so.
Yeah.
Hello?
So she had a hearing today. It actually stretches into tomorrow, but tomorrow is closed door because they're fighting it out about some evidence that they don't want out into the public sphere. But today they were fighting it out over an expert witness that the state wants to use, and the defense actually won. I know I said today the defense never wins these things, but they won this one.
Oh, wow.
So what they were arguing about, the state wanted to bring in an expert witness by the name of Molly Aumann. She's a former FBI profiler who specializes in behavioral threat assessment. And they were arguing about it's a domestic violence risk assessment, essentially. And they were arguing that that the model that she uses doesn't apply to Kouri Richins' case, doesn't apply to what happened. And they argued that successfully, and the judge said she would not be able to testify.
Interesting.
The judge said, that she would not be able to testify as evidence or guilt, or to rebut the case in specific assertions as to why she did or did not commit the acts that she was accused of, which is essentially what she was supposed to be testifying about.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, tomorrow they're actually going to argue about a handwriting analysis person, but we don't get to see that. So.
Rude.
Yeah. So, at any rate,
I just want to know when this bitch is going to trial. My God.
yeah, yeah. Good question. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. Throckmorton, that was the handwriting person. They were today as
Oh, they
well.
weren't.
Sounds like the judge said no, they're good to go. And then there was one other person that had to do with testifying about domestic violence in their relationship. And it sounds like they're in as well.
Oh, good. So they are going to get some domestic violence in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is good. Right? It does appear that jail agrees with Kouri. Why
No,
does she always look?
you're just not seeing those yellow teeth.
Is that the problem? She does always keep her lips
Yes.
closed.
Yeah. So
I know.
that's
It's annoying to see her looking so good.
there's just not very many pictures of her, honestly. I think we are
It's true.
using old ones over and over because there's just not a lot of photos of her in court. But yes, she is
That's
the
true.
one who's allegedly killed her husband with fentanyl and then wrote a book about grieving. Went on
Yeah.
the Today Show, and the cops were like, "Hey, you know what? Let's arrest you tomorrow," and they did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This seems sus
Mm-hmm.
that you're out on your book tour
Mm-hmm.
about your grief journey after you pretty sure you murdered your husband.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've been covering this into infinitum because it's taken forever to get to trial, but it is supposed to go to trial, I believe, in April. This is one that
We
we were going to stream,
promise.
so we'll see.
Yeah. We promise we will stream it if it ever fucking happens.
Yeah. It's taken a long time, but we'll get there.
Mhm.
And lastly, there was one more heist over the break. Actually, not just one. There was a string of heists. We don't know if it was the same people, but starting on November 22nd, 2025, there was an oyster theft in Maine. 40,000 oysters and their cages were stolen from an aquaculture site in Falmouth, Maine. That was worth about
Wow.
20 grand. And then on October 2nd, a crab shipment. This was a load of crab meat disappeared from the Lineage Logistics warehouse in Taunton, Massachusetts. And then on December 12th, a lobster heist. This was a freight broker. They had arranged to move a high value lobster shipment from Taunton to Costco warehouses in Illinois and Minnesota. And thieves that were posing as trucking company workers picked up the load. They had fake credentials and they diverted it, and it has not been recovered. That was $400,000 worth of lobster not recovered.
Were they were still alive, right?
I believe
The
that's true.
lobster?
I don't know for sure. I don't know on
I
that.
guess the oysters would have been too.
Yeah,
Like, where the hell are they? Where are they storing these?
right.
Where do you
Right.
take all of that?
So they're saying that the lobster theft, particularly, was a pretty high tech. This was a really organized theft. So they had cyber criminals and cargo thieves that worked together to pull this off by hacking into the freight process itself and compromising their logistic tools and creating fake carrier profiles. They used spoofed emails, forged documentation, and had fake driver IDs to pose as a legitimate trucking company.
This reminds me of the Kit Kat heist.
Yeah, yeah.
Very similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
isn't that wild? So where
Except
did
it'd
all
be a
that
lot
lobster
easier to
go?
store those Kit Kats than the lobsters.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the lobster, they were prepared enough that they must have had. This isn't one of those cases of, you know, a whole bunch of food that gets stolen and then just goes to
All those
waste.
chicken tenders that time.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think this is what this is at all. They were very prepared. Obviously, they had a place for this lobster to go, but yeah, nearly
Yeah.
$500,000 worth of lobster.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right, Kristi? Maybe they released them into the sea. Or Sweet Doggy Mom said that. Maybe they were freeing them. Maybe they got the oysters out of their cages and let them go.
I mean, I'll let you have
Probably
that
not.
dream, but I kind of don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, that they stole the oysters and their cages. That's just sad.
Yeah, it is. All
That's
of
just
this.
sad.
Yeah. So, there you go. That's what's up. And so that was a mouthful. That was a bunch.
That was a lot.
I said
That's
we had a lot
my
tonight.
head is spinning. My head is spinning about the ICE murder. I'm
Mhm.
absolutely horrified by that.
Absolutely.
And also the Gonzalez trial. Like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the prosecution trying to pull?
What's going to happen tomorrow? I mean,
Yeah, what is going to happen tomorrow?
what is the jury thinking at this point? Also,
Yeah, I'm really
Wild.
wondering that.
Yeah. Oh, also, Nick Reiner, Alan Jackson has already left his case.
I saw that. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
going to have this super hooty defense attorney, and now he doesn't.
Yeah. Already. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All righties. Well, we're going to be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for yet another episode, our last episode of the week. So please join us then. And otherwise, please take good care of yourselves. We'll be back. Please like, share, follow, and thanks for being a part of the squad.
Join the super squad, bonus laughs, deeper clues, same sharp slews, just extra clues.